Income, gender, and location. Disparities in transport emissions in the UK. A comprehensive study by the Institute for Public Policy Research, IPPR, has shed light on the stark disparities in climate heating gas emissions from transport across different socioeconomic groups in the United Kingdom. The research meticulously examined emissions data based on income, gender, location, ethnicity, and age. Income. A direct correlation with mobility? The findings reveal a direct correlation between income and levels of mobility. Individuals with annual earnings exceeding £100,000 travel, on average, more than double the distance compared to those earning less than £30,000. This disparity underscores the significant role that income plays in shaping transportation patterns. Astonishingly, the wealthiest 0.1% of the population in Britain emit 22 times more transport emissions than the lowest earners, and 12 times more than the average. This staggering difference highlights the disproportionate impact of the affluent on climate change. Gender. Men as the primary contributors. The study also identified a significant gender gap in transport emissions, with men emitting considerably more than women. On average, per capita emissions for men stand at 5,030 kg CO2e, while women emit 3,780 kg CO2e annually. Investor. Age. A peak in emissions during middle age. Emissions from flying peak between the ages of 25 and 35, with the elderly population, over 65, contributing the least to air travel emissions. Private road transport emissions, on the other hand, reach a peak in middle age, with the highest annual emissions produced by the 49 to 65-year-old age group. Public transport emissions, in contrast, are highest among the young and decrease with age. Location. Rural areas as emission hotspots. Geography also plays a significant role in transport emissions. Individuals residing in rural areas tend to emit more than those in urban centers. This disparity is primarily attributed to the reliance on private transport in many rural areas, which often lack adequate public transportation options. And ethnicity. White British residents as higher emitters. The study further explored emissions based on ethnicity, categorizing individuals as white British and non-white British. Per capita, white British residents were found to produce higher emissions through flights and private transport, while non-white British residents emitted slightly less on public transport. In Recommendations for Policy and Action, the IPPR report emphasizes the urgent need for government intervention to address the inequities in transport emissions and pave the way for a more sustainable transportation system. The report proposes a range of measures, including rapidly improving public transport infrastructure, encouraging active travel, walking and cycling, accelerating the transition to electric vehicles, imposing new taxes on private jets, reinstating the 2030 ban on petrol and diesel vehicles. Maya Singer-Hobbs, a senior research fellow at the IPPR, underscores the potential for reducing emissions to address social injustice. Reducing emissions can actually tackle some of that injustice if done fairly, she states. Stephen Frost, a principal research fellow at the IPPR, highlights the importance of targeting those who can contribute most to emission reductions. Those who are financially best off need to do the most, he emphasizes. The study provides a clear roadmap for policymakers to address the underlying unfairness in who the transport system currently works for. It urges the government to prioritize a people-focused plan that promotes sustainable travel and reduces transport inequalities.